My name is Chris Waugh. I'm from Bonney Lake, Washington. I've been playing disc golf for 13 years, PDGA number 25269. I've been playing professionally since 2008, I believe, and progressing from there. All right, so I am new to Team Prodigy for the 2015 season. I got approached by Will Schustrick after the USDGC last year in 2014. My name was brought up when the national tour came to the Fort Steilacoom Open. They were looking for a player in our area, and definitely got to give a shout out to Mark Kilmer at Disc Golf Armory. He pumped me up to him, and that's how I got associated with Prodigy Disc. Switching over to the discs, definitely a smooth transition. If anybody wants to try out the Prodigy discs, they super easy to learn. The numbering system, the letter system, just makes it easy to convert over. Plastic's amazing. They got the 400 series, nice and tacky, nice and grippy. The 750 series is nice and stiff. 350G for the putters and the mid-ranges is amazing. So I definitely recommend the switch over if you're not throwing any. It's definitely an easy switch. So now we will go in my bag. We'll start with some mid-ranges. My most understable disc that I throw is the M4. I've got two of these. I've got a 400G M4. That one's super flippy. I can start it hyzer, flip it flat, start it flat, flip it all the way over to a roller. Then I've got a 750 M4. 750 is a lot more durable, a lot more stiff. It's definitely more overstable. I can, whatever angle I put this on, that's where it's going to go. Overpower it, you can still roll it, but these are definitely reliable mid-ranges. And then moving on, I really like the M3. I've got two M3s. Got a 350G M3. That's a little less stable. I've had this one for a while. I can hyzer it to flat, flip it over, super consistent. The 350G plastic, these basically replace my rocks, and almost Ontario rockish, but I like these because of the feel of the plastic. The 350G plastic to me is amazing plastic. It's some of the best, I guess, less quality plastic that's out there, the lower grade plastic, but it just, the feel, the stiffness and the grip together is like nothing I've ever felt before. Then I've got the 400 series M3. It's a little more overstable than the 350G. It's more durable. This one I can throw flat and it'll just go straight for miles. And then getting a little more overstable, got a, which one's this? This is M2, Proto M2. This one's pretty beefy for a mid-range. It's more of a utility disc than anything else. I can throw it out and I just know it's coming left. I throw little sidearm approaches with it also. Same thing, M1. Basically, these two discs to me, there's not much difference in these two. Utility discs more than anything. Throw them flat, know they're gonna hook left, headwinds, no problem. Sidearm approaches, definitely good utility mid-ranges. From the mid-ranges, fairway drivers, I've got an F7 is my most understable fairway driver. This one, I just roll with this one. Came out of the box, it flew pretty well, hyzer to flat, even started flipping, but now this thing's just throw it flat, slams at the ground, and this is the best roller disc I've ever owned. So if you're looking for a good utility roller disc, F7, that's where it's at right there. Moving on, I really like the F3. This is my favorite fairway driver from the Prodigy line, is the F3. Super consistent. Out of the box, you throw them flat. They're gonna go straight, come back a bit, hyzer out. This one's a bit beat up. I can throw it flat and have it flip. Nice and consistent flight. The plastic again, I've got 400 and a 750. Same thing, 400 a little more tacky, easier to grip. The 750's a little more stiff, and I like my discs rigid. So the 750 plastic for me, it's, again, some of the best plastic I've ever felt. So there you go, F3s. I've got an F5 750. I had a 400 F5, but it's in the water over at Vista. These are a little bit longer than the F3. They fly pretty similar, but they're longer, at least the 750 plastic. This one's super overstable compared to what I thought it was going to be, or compared to the 400 series. 400 series I can throw flat and have it flip up. The 750 here I throw flat, it's gonna come left. But again, it's a super long range fairway driver. It's almost not a fairway driver, but yeah, 750 F5, they go a mile. Into the hybrid discs. So the hybrid discs are a little bit faster. They're in between the fairway drivers and the distance drivers. I've got an H4. H4 to me, I don't throw it all that much. I'm still trying to learn it. This one I can hyzer to flat and it's still gonna hyzer. If I wanna get it to turn over, I can turn it over. Basically any angle I put this on, that's where it's gonna go. And then on to H2. H2 is my favorite sidearm disc that I've ever owned. This one for me basically replaced the Firebird. I like the feel of the 750 plastic more than anything I've ever felt. Comes out of my hand super consistent. It's a good speed for my sidearm. I don't have a huge sidearm, but the H2 for me is perfect for that utility disc sidearm shot. I throw it backhand a little bit. It's pretty overstable. Throw it flat, it's gonna hook over pretty good. But that's sort of a utility disc for me, again, with the H2. Then the H1. The H1 is just a beast. This is one of the most overstable discs I've ever owned. 750 plastic, I don't throw it all that much, but if I got a huge headwind, I know this thing's not gonna flip over. It's not gonna be affected by a headwind. It's just gonna meet hook over. Again, good sidearm disc. Throw it straight up and down, the thing's still gonna come out. Now on to some distance drivers. I like to throw my distance drivers with some hyzer and have them pop up and then come back. So I got a little bit more understable discs. I've got a D4, the older first run D4. For me, this is a little more overstable than some of the production runs I've thrown. This one I can hyzer flip it, nice and consistent, come on back. If I need a big long turnover shot with a distance driver, this is my disc I go to. Throw it flat, it's just gonna pop up and carry for a while. From there, I've got a D3. This one's a little bit older. All my distance drivers are the 400 series. So 400G on the D3. I've had this one for a while. It's a little bit beat in. So again, it's very similar to the flight of the D4. Maybe not as long though. So this one's in the bag, more of a backup because there's a bunch of water out here at the memorial. So yeah, very, very consistent. Going on to the D2. I like the D2. I haven't seen many people that throw the D2, more D3 and D1 throwers. But for me, the D2 was the first distance driver I picked up from Prodigy, and I immediately loved it. It's a little bit different because if you get it over, it's gonna hold, but if you throw it flat, at least out of the box, it's gonna hook left, right hand, backhand, or hyzer out. Basically, any line you put this on, that's where it's gonna go, more so than forcing a helix. So if you yank over a D2, it's not really gonna come out so much, but it's a very consistent disc. One thing that I've really found with the Prodigy discs is they make you throw the disc properly. When you throw the disc, you wanna throw it out and let the disc fly, more so than try and force it over and have it manipulate its own flight. Most of the discs, the fairway drivers, the distance drivers, they want to fly out and then pop up and come back, more so than have you force it and make it more difficult for yourself. That's one of the things that I really like about the Prodigy discs. I've got a D1, which is super overstable. Super overstable for a distance driver. For me, again, I don't throw this all that much. It's more of a sidearm disc for me. Throw it out, I know it's gonna come back. Headwind, I know it's gonna come back. Another D2, brand new D2. It's just a backup. Throw it in the bag. The most important disc in the bag, I got my putters. I've got a PA3 that I use for driving off of the tee. Probably the best disc I've ever thrown off of the tee. Most consistent flight, and they're super fast compared to putters that I've thrown before. You can almost compare it to a mid-range for most other companies, but it's super consistent flight. Throw it out on a hyzer, it's going to stay on a hyzer flat, it's going flat. Throw it a little harder flat, it's going to turn over for you. PA3, amazing driving and approach putter. I threw a little sidearm flicks with this one also. I prefer to pop up the nose on sidearms to approach to a basket, and that's what this guy's for. Another driving putter that I've got a 400 series PA1, super overstable for a putter. I can crank this one over, and it's going to at least get flat. Headwinds, approaches, it's and again, the plastic. I can't say enough about the Prodigy plastic. Every plastic that I've felt, the 400, the 300, the 350, the 750, all of them are just super tacky, yet there's some rigidity to it. It's rigid, so it's not going to flop out of your hand. Nice and easy, controllable that way. My main putters, when I'm throwing at the basket, I putt with PA1s, 350G PA1s. I like a very stiff putter, and the 350Gs are some of the stiffest putters I've ever had, but they're not slippery. A lot of times with the other putters that I've had from other companies, the hard ones are also slippery. So you can't really find that tacky and firm plastic, but the 350G plastic, for me, it's better than any putter plastic I've ever thrown. The PA1s, they're a little bit overstable for a putter, but I throw flat to a little anhyzer on my putt anyways. So for me, it just flies straight to the basket, kind of falls right in the basket. And there you go. That's what's in my bag.